like working at JAM? I like the office morale. So we have a lot of fun together. Similarly to Matt, in the agency style, you work hard and you play hard. Sometimes you're there for 12 hours a day. Sometimes you have your valleys where you only work 5 hours a day. I haven't experienced that yet, but I'm told that that's the case. I actually like the work. So I do enjoy getting up out of bed, going to work, and evaluating creative. That's part of my role, which I'll talk more about. Sometimes I play the role of a copywriter, not often, because that's not my specialty. Sometimes I play the role of art director. Again, not my specialty, but that's the opportunity that I have working with the agency resources. Although, you know, some days you have bad days and they feel long and it feels like you're losing hope, when it comes to kickstarting your career, I want you to be confident in yourself. I want you to be confident in your education, confident in your qualifications, and confident in what sets you apart from the competition. If we revert back to education, for Penguin Pickup, I beat out a university grad. I don't have a university degree, but they trusted my skill set and everything that I had brought to the table over a piece of paper. So that's something to remember. You know, it's not always about your education. It's also about what you've learned in your previous roles and how you can apply it into the workforce and what value you bring to the table. So now that you're confident in your ability to get the job, there are things to be mindful of before you apply, or I guess when you're finding a job. One way that I think works really well is networking. Job fairs, your current job, industry events, conferences. If you work customer service, high level, barista, if you're customer service at a gym, if you are a server, take the opportunity to speak to who you are interacting with on a daily basis. There's not one member at the Good Life gym that I worked at in customer service that didn't know that I was graduating and didn't know that I was looking for a job. Almost everybody who walked in who I saw on a consistent basis knew that I was graduating and looking for a job. And that's how I found my job. One gentleman who I saw every Friday afternoon came in. I said, "Hey, how's your wife? How are your kids?" "Great, thank you. Hey, by the way, I'm graduating and I need a job. I went to school to get a job." He goes, "What did you study again?" "Marketing." "Great." I said, "Is Smart Centers looking?" "Not yet, but maybe 4 to 6 weeks. Send me your CV." The interview process was lengthy, it was difficult, but had I not spoken up, I may not have gotten the job. So once you've gotten the interview, dress for the job you want, not the job that you are applying for. You know, the agency setting is very casual. I've always known that about going into an agency, but I still wore dress pants, I wore a dress shirt, I wore a blazer, I got all done up both times. And don't ever forget to, you know, be consistent with the way you present yourself, especially when you're meeting those people for the first time or the first couple of times. Is your elevator pitch ready? So if someone gave you 30 seconds or a minute to leave a lasting thought, do you know what you would say? Have that ready, because there will be people who give you that opportunity. Before I leave, is there anything else that you want me to know about yourself and why you should get the job? Know the role, know the company inside out, and have questions for them. Employers really appreciate when you come back with some questions, whether those questions are about the company and you weren't able to find that information online, or whether it's important to you. My favorite question to ask is, what do you like about working here? Because you can get a sense of the culture that they work in. It could be yours too. It could be something you're interested in, but just make sure you have anywhere between 3 and 5 questions for them in the interview process. Real life examples. This is a big one. I'm sure you're all very good at answering questions. Hopefully, you know, you stay on topic when you get asked a question, but always back it up with real life examples, whether that's at work, whether it was an experience in the OCMC, or if you went to Vanier. Whatever the case is, just try and back it up. It could even be a project that you worked on in school. It really doesn't matter. It just shows that you can relate back to your previous experience, answer the question, and then move on from there. And if there was a problem that occurred, how you solved it. So the last thing I do want to leave you guys with is a quote from Jay Danzy. It says, "Your smile is your logo, your personality is your business card. How you leave others feeling after an experience with you becomes your trademark." So make sure that the trademark that you've left with your colleagues, your professors, your classmates, is a very strong representation of who you are. because at the end of the day, if you've left them with something that they feel good about, to Matt's point, they will vouch for you.